The Navajo Nation is experiencing one of the highest coronavirus death rates in the country, surpassing 46 states. The massive reservation in the Southwest is home to more than 170,000 people, but around 30% do not have running water. Think of that. For the CBSN Originals series Reverb, executive producer Adam Yamaguchi shows us how the lack of basic supplies makes the virus harder to fight.
It's kind of hard to imagine how Navajo Nation has been hit so hard, considering that the population is so sparse. Much of the population far, far off the main highway. We've been on this dirt path for like an hour. Came upon this. It's functioning well. We're told that a good chunk of the population here, they don't have running water in their homes. They've got to come out here, pump their water. Some of the most vulnerable residents aren't able to make the drive to the nearest store. The matriarch of this family, whose grandmother experienced the deportation and resettlement of Navajo here, is 114 years old.
They have water in that 350-gallon water barrel, and then also the water barrels. So they haul water that's for like to take a shower, for potable, to clean the house, wash their hands and stuff like that. Then we deliver water to them every week. They're probably rationing that, just only using what they need, probably less than maybe 2-3 gallons a day. If they become infected, that's one of the things that they're most afraid of, is if they become infected, especially the ones that go to dialysis, the ones that are diabetic, high blood pressure. Those are the ones, because their immune systems are weak, like the ones that go to chemotherapy. Some of these families, or some of the individuals, the high-risk patients, they're asking for masks and they're asking for gloves, but we don't have enough to go around.
And Adam Yamaguchi joins us now from Los Angeles. Adam, good morning. You always have such beautiful footage of what is often a grim situation on the ground, and that's certainly the case here in the Navajo Nation. Besides the lack of running water, what is it that makes them so vulnerable to the coronavirus?
Well, Native Americans have the highest rates of diabetes and hypertension in the entire U.S., and much of this is driven by lack of access to health care, but also lack of access to affordable, nutritious food. In an area that is the size of Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire combined, there are only 13 grocery stores, yet tons and tons of gas station fare and fast food, which, by the way, is a common theme that we see across communities of color that have been disproportionately affected by COVID. What COVID has revealed is a failure to address some issues that have been hiding in plain sight for a long time, and these communities are now seeing the fallout from that.
You do so many of these stories, and I'm always interested to know, when you go into one of these communities, what you're expecting and then what surprised you the most. So in this case, what stood out?
You know, I think that in spite of the fact that the situation is dire on the reservation, there are signs of hope. You know, what we found time and again was that the Navajo are incredibly strong, they're proud, and they're resilient. And they're rallying together in ways that they haven't seen in a long time. Young people are reconnecting with elders and getting in touch with a language and culture that they may not have had much closeness to in the past. We also saw farmers, or ordinary people, taking up farming for the very first time, rediscovering their ancestral plots of land to try to take control of their healthy food system. So there is some positive to come out of what is a pretty dire situation.
And hopefully that positive is reinforced now that your report is drawing more attention to the problems there. Adam Yamaguchi, thank you very much. And you at home can watch Adam's newest episode of the CBSN Original series Reverb. It's called Coronavirus in Navajo Nation, and it is streaming right now at cbsnews.com/Navajo.